Hey kings, hey queens, welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time on this channel, you're highly welcome. Now, whether you're new to Ireland or been living here for a while and looking for job opportunities, this quick guide is for you. Today, we're talking about how to prepare for a job fair or career expo, what to expect and how to make the most of the day. So, what is a job fair? A job fair is a professional event where companies come together to meet potential employees like you. You will find stands or booths for each company, and representatives are there to tell you about open positions, company culture, and how to apply. Here is how to prepare before attending the fair. Print out copies of your CV. Save a digital copy of your CV on your phone too. You never know when a recruiter might ask for it by email or QR code. Most of these companies are asking by QR code to submit your CV, so have it handy on your mobile phone. Dress smart, casual, or professional. Something that makes you feel confident and ready to impress. Make sure your email and LinkedIn are up to date, just in case someone wants to follow up with you. Now, what should you expect when you arrive at the fair? There will be different companies with booths, and you are free to walk around and ask questions and hand them your CV. Some companies might even do mini interviews or quick chats on the spot, so be ready to introduce yourself with a smile and confidence. You also meet career coaches and CV reviewers at many of these events. These are amazing people who can give you tips on your CV, help with job interview techniques, or even help you discover roles you never thought of. Extra tips for the day. Come early. Some of the best opportunities go very fast. So bring a pen and a notepad. You might want to jot down names, company info, or feedback. Don't be shy. Just walk up, say hello, introduce yourself. They're very friendly people there. Okay? Just keep it simple and professional. As I said, whether you're new to Ireland or just ready for your next career move, a job fair is a golden opportunity. Show up prepared, be yourself, and follow up afterward with anyone you connected with. Wishing you all the best in your job search. You've got this.
Now, in addition to the lineup of exhibitors and guest speakers today, Jobs Expo will also offer the Career Clinic feature. It's situated just at the top as soon as you enter. This is where professional career coaches offer free guidance, CV evaluations, and also interview tips. So you can bring in your CVs and have a sit-down chat with them to just guide them in the right direction. Now, our first speaker today is Kieran Barry of Kieran Barry Coaching. Kieran will be speaking about mastering behavioural interviews, how to tell your story effectively. Now, Kieran is a life coach and a career coach who works with clients from all different backgrounds who are looking to create a change in their life. He helps his clients to set goals, discover their values and passions. He identifies what is holding them back and helps them develop new strategies to overcome their challenges. Please welcome Kieran Barry to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kieran, and for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about how to master behavioral interviews. So how you can position yourself and structure your answers to sell yourself effectively in any interview. Perfect. There we go. So just a little bit about myself before we get started. I'm a life and career coach, and for the last 2 years I've been running my own practice. Prior to that, I worked for a major tech company for 8 years, and I worked from various roles from customer service all the way up to management. And prior to that, I lived in Germany where I managed many bars. So as you can see, I've transitioned into different career paths a lot over the past few years. And what I'm going to share with you today is the strategy that I would use with many of my clients when they are looking to transition into a new career path when it comes to interviews. So when it comes to behavioral-based interviews, they are designed to assess your experience, to predict your future performance when it comes to specifically competencies and your skills and your experience. So what I'm going to go through is how to prepare effectively, so how to use the job description as a resource to sell yourself, how to structure your answers using the STAR approach. This is a method that recruiters and interviewers would use to score you throughout an interview. And then towards the end, we'll be a little bit about how to leave a lasting impression on your interview. So, preparing effectively for an interview. When it comes to any interview, preparation is key. So if you're to leave today with anything, if you just leave with this first step, you'll already be far ahead of many other professionals. So when it comes to the job description, it has so much information that you can use to prepare. So you want to first identify key responsibilities, tasks and duties so that you can use this to position yourself as one of the top candidates to matching what they are looking for. Then you're going to extract skills and competencies. So hiring managers will use these skills and competencies to base for their questions. So their questions will be based around this. So by taking this out of the job description and using this to prepare, you can predict some of the questions that they're going to ask you. And then finally, you want to take note of anything relating to company values and cultures. So if you search for a job online or a company online, you will find a lot about their mission statement, their values, their culture. But within the job description, often the hiring manager will put a lot of detail in about the team culture. So what the right candidate would look like for this particular role. So by taking this information, when it comes to introducing yourself, when it comes to your examples, you can put a bit of that information in there so that they see right from the get-go you are a right fit for the role. And that brings us then to the introducing yourself. In any interview, when you come in, you have 2 minutes at the start to introduce yourself. So it might be the hiring manager will ask you to tell them a bit about yourself or about your career experience. for this question, this is your 2 minutes to leave an impression. And you should really have, if you're going for many different interviews, you should never have the same answer. Your answer should be relevant to the specific role. So you want to take your key strengths and your skills and your experience, whether it be in your previous job or the job before, projects, tasks, anything that shows that you have the relevant experience for this role. Because you probably have loads of experience, but not all of it is relevant to the role that you're applying for. And then towards the end, you want to express your passion for the role and your interest in the company, and throw in a little bit about what you know about the company. This might be your only opportunity throughout the interview to really show them how much you want to work in the company, how much you know about the role, why you're the right fit for the role. You might get an opportunity at the end of the interview again, but this is really your chance, 2 minutes, to show why you're the right fit. So then, when it comes to creating strong behavioural examples, this is where you're really going to use the job description. So within the job description, they're going to list the skills that you need to be successful in the role. And they're going to base, especially when it comes to behavioural-based interviews, they're going to base their questions off of those competencies. So you want to take the top 6 to 8 that are listed in the job description. And what I recommend that you do then first is list for each competency what it takes to be successful within that particular skill. So if we take communication as an example, so active listening, your written communication, adapting your style, listening to body language, they're all things that you probably, if you have that skill, you're doing that every day, but you might not be consciously aware of it. And you need to, while you might be brilliant at it, you need to be able to demonstrate it in the interview. So before you even come to preparing your examples, make sure that you understand for each competency what's really important. And then when it comes to picking your example, you want to pick an example that adds a little bit of extra value. So you want to make sure that you're demonstrating the skill. So let's say if you stick with communication, so if you stick with communication as an example, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. If you stick with communication, you know what's important within that competency, how to demonstrate it. It might be something you do every day. Let's say you work with clients and you're demonstrating, you're doing that every day. You want to pick an example that might add an extra value, show additional skills. So let's say you've demonstrated where you've made a presentation to a stakeholder, where you have to rely on your communication skills to get buy-in for your project. Something like that adds a little bit more value to your example. And then when it comes to building the example, we want to use the STAR approach. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. The majority of recruiters and hiring managers will use this to rate your answer, to score you throughout, to ensure that you are hitting all the points. So situations should take up about 20% of your answer, and this is where you're going to set the context. So you're going to explain what's going on, what the situation is. Then you're going to spend 10% of your answer on the task. So the task is what was your role within it? So what is it that you had to do? So that might look something like my goal here was, or what I had to do here is, it's one sentence, but it just makes it really clear to the person in front of you of what were you doing in this situation. And then action, this is where you're demonstrating the skill. So this is where you should be spending 60% of your answer, and this is where you are going to, again, if you stick with communication, this is where you are demonstrating that skill. And then for the result, that should be 10% of your answer. Now, the majority of people are quite good at explaining the situation, the task, and the action, but they forget the result. The result is where you are telling them the outcome. So, what was the outcome of everything that you
create that, I suppose, impact with the recruiter and maybe push the recruiter's thinking away from you just being a retail person and get them to think about you in another way. So really applying a growth mindset in terms of your, first of all here, your job search strategy. So for example, where you look for your jobs, how you go about searching for jobs, because if you think about it, if you've been applying for jobs and searching for jobs through various platforms for the last couple of months and it's not yielding the right results for you, then the definition of craziness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get a different result. It just doesn't happen. So you have to step back and go, okay, what am I actually going to change in terms of my job search process? What am I going to tweak? Because I also need to tweak something. So again, thinking with a growth mindset, thinking outside the box and going, okay, I need to do something a little bit different here. And that thinking with a growth mindset could be speaking to a colleague, asking for advice. It could be engaging with a career coach. Or it could be just having that conversation with yourself, advising yourself to go, okay, I'm actually going to take a break from searching for jobs for a few weeks, step back and just kind of see what I can do different, because what I've been doing up to now hasn't really led to a successful outcome for me. Words wisely on your CV to make sure they have that right impact and essentially catch the attention of your target audience through the use of language. So the next one is again just what, that's the theme of my presentation, is what essentially turns the head of a recruiter. And again, here I'm talking about some good and maybe not so good. For example, the middle one, where it's every time we get a CV, in most cases recruiters will then go straight away and look at your LinkedIn profile. And if your LinkedIn profile and the dates don't sync up with your CV, then straight away there's an element of doubt that creeps into the recruiter's mind. There's a bit of grayness, there's a bit of inconsistency, and all of a sudden the recruiter tends to lose interest and perhaps goes, all of a sudden then their brain goes, okay, I'm actually going to move on to the next CV. So there's just that element of doubt that you just want to absolutely make sure that there's consistency across your, if you have a LinkedIn profile, that the dates on your CV and your LinkedIn are absolutely consistent. As I've seen so many times.
The first area that you put is satisfaction is a big area. How to satisfy with what they're doing, the morale, their confidence up. And there's of course transition sector, promotions, transition. 20%, a lot of people that come to work need to get the skills that they need to take on more responsibility. Graduates starting out, we need a lot of graduates here at Job Expo to work with them to craft a professional persona so they can take their academic expertise and bring it into the marketplace. They do some pro bono work as well. Returning to corporate life. People who are off maternity leave or paternity leave, or they've had some family issue at home, and also moving locations. So I also need people who are moving into the country. That's just a snapshot of the type of work that I do. But for today, some experiences about people that I've worked with who are on their career transitions and how they chose their best path. So within this story, and placing the thing is not just we're going to talk about CVs, of course, LinkedIn profiles and all the standard things that you need to have in place in order to present yourself in the workplace in an effective and competitive manner. There's also no mindsets that a lot of people get afraid, they get worried, they get a bit uncertain, they lose motivation, the morale dips, all this kind of stuff. So this is all this is all just an equally important part of it. So I've got 3 cases here from the last 12 months of people that I work with. It's confidential, of course, in terms of keeping their anonymity. And I'll tell you about what these people were able to do as they managed their career transition. So, this particular side of this particular person's values, her own personal values. This particular person is probably in her 40s. She had been working for over 20 years, a brilliant multitasking as far as I could see from working with her, conscientious and responsible. Had been working in the recruitment industry, would you believe, during that time. But she found herself in a tough spot. Her boss had changed, the approach was different, she became overloaded and the stress that came with that. Very, very loyal to that company, was grateful to that company for the work that they had given to her and was keen to repay that. And this particular person was going through a tough time. She couldn't sleep, she wasn't eating well. The circumstances in work in terms of the relationships that were there were posing a problem for her. So she wanted to do something about it. She got in contact. And one of the very interesting things about her is because she'd been through a difficult time over a period of a couple of years, her first statement out of her mouth was, "Dara, I want to get out. I've enough of this, I'm out." And probably one of the first things that I can do, because it's not my place to say whether someone should leave or go, is hang on, let's take our time now. And so we did. We started to get to work. You started to get to work on the challenges that you had in terms of the relationship that were there with the workload. We brought a bit of stability into the way she was thinking. Often I get people that I work with, the first thing is I need to get out of this job. I'm kind of saying, hang on a minute, I've got time. Let's look after your income, let's look after your responsibilities that are there.